A family radio show, Harold Camping. He's saying that the world will end in 2011. Excuse me for my Bushism, my Bush moment. I said the Book of Revolutions. I meant the Book of Revelations. Excuse me. I had a Bushism going on there. Let's bring Harold back in. And Harold, speaking of the Book of Revelations, let me ask you this. It says in there that it's going to come like a thief in the night. Man will not know. But you're saying that you actually know that May 21st, 2011 will be the end of days.
Well, that's a very, very excellent question. You know, God has indicated in the Bible that until it turns out in 1988 it becomes a very important year. I won't get into that detail. It happens to be, incidentally, the 13,000th anniversary of the history of the world, because the Bible also shows that creation occurred, when it's coordinated with our calendar, it occurred in the year 11,013 BC. But until 1988, the Bible emphasizes nobody can know the time of the end. The Bible says in Acts chapter 1, when the disciples who began the New Testament church, they were trying to figure out the time, and Christ said to them, it's not for you to know the time or the season. You get busy, I'm paraphrasing now, you get busy and get the gospel out into the world. And so there are a lot of verses in the Bible that says you cannot know. Christ is going to come as a thief in the night. But when we study some more, we find that there was information that was given to Daniel, which was to be sealed up, and that in 1988 we find, when we coordinate all the information of the Bible, that information was opened up. And so since 1980, we can know he will not come as a thief in the night. Fact is, in 1 Thessalonians 5, it says, he will come as a thief in the night, and there will be those who are saying peace and safety. In other words, they think everything's fine. They're going to go up to heaven in the rapture when Christ comes, whenever he comes. But then it adds, and sudden destruction will come upon them. And then it goes on to talk about, but there are others who are watching and who are continuing to study the Bible, and they will find that, like we read in the Old Testament, in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 5, that the true believers, there will come a time when they shall know time and judgment. And so in the last 20 years, the Lord has been opening up the Bible to this information, and that's why we know the very precise time, because it is God's love and God's mercy that he wants the world to know about it. It doesn't come on as a surprise. Just like when he was going to destroy Nineveh in the book of Jonah, he gave them 40 days warning. And so they sat in sackcloth and ashes and pleaded with God, is it possible you might change your mind? And that's what God has done now. He wants the true believers to know and to tell the whole world, so that people who are not sure that they are a child of God, they can cry to God, oh God, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Maybe I can still become saved.
Now, Harold, let me ask you this. All right, a lot of people through the history of this country, through the history of time, have predicted dates when the world was going to end. One of the big things that's running around now is the Mayan calendar that's going to end December 21st of 2012. But a lot of people are not reporting that the Mayan calendar starts over after that date. But I'm going to regress on that argument for a second. I guess what I'm asking you is, for people who are listening and people who are believers, what makes you so sure when you were so wrong back in 1994? What's the difference between now and then? You're saying that you've been taught now, but maybe you still need to learn a little bit more. Maybe this place, if it doesn't work in 2011, are you going to say, well, I was wrong, I need a little bit more schooling to pick a different date?
Well, no, the fact is I was not so wrong. if you read the book 1994, you'll find that 90% of what I've written in that book, I would still write exactly the same way today, but I didn't have quite all the information. And I don't fudge. I don't fool around. I'm not trying to seek for notoriety, being notable or notorious or whatever. I simply want to faithfully declare, and it's God's love and God's mercy that He is telling the world now when the time is, so that people can cry out for His mercy, because the Bible also teaches that in our day there's a great many people becoming saved, not in the churches. They have gone too far away from the truth, but outside, God is working individually in the lives of people, and there are many, many people. Particularly, He emphasizes that last shall be first. That is, those who have never really been under the hearing of the gospel, and that includes about 2/3 of the whole world, more than about 5 billion people, and they now are having an opportunity in these last days to become a child of God, so that they will inherit the kingdom. Whereas those who are first, those who know everything and are not trusting the whole Bible, unfortunately, they're going to be last, and that is they're going to find out that they're left behind. Oh, what a horrible thing that will be.
You know, Harold, I thank you for taking time coming on here and spreading this message. If you are correct, you have done God's work. You've gave notice to the world, and I thank you for taking time to do that. And I'm sure we'll have you back on in the near future.
All right, thank you very much for hosting me. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you, Harold.
Yeah.
All right.